Hi there, welcome along on a 1-week-long south of France road trip. Come visit some of the sites we saw and hear about some of the most memorable locations along the way. We begin our trip in the southwest of France in the city of Toulouse and make our way east to Nice and Monaco. Toulouse is a mid-sized city in the southwest of France, famous for its soaps, good food, airplanes, and its charming small-town vibes. Founded over 2,000 years ago, Toulouse is now a bustling center of technology, of hardworking French people, and not overrun by tourists. Very recommended for a destination in France. For dinner, we opted for steak frites at the famous restaurant Les Entrecôtes. We knew it was popular at first sight because there was a long line, over 100 people waiting. However, they were really fast and they served only one main item, which they were really good at making. The next morning, we set out for one of the biggest attractions in Toulouse, the Airbus Factory tour. Great place for aviation geeks and families and everybody alike. On the tour in the museum, you get to see a lot of great exhibits, from the Super Guppy transport airplane to walk inside the A400 military transport airplane prototype, and a look at Airbus's first airliner, the A300. The exhibit is very nicely laid out with cutaway sections for great viewing, keeping all visitors drawn in for hours on end. Coming back from the Airbus factory, and we're going to be taking the metro back to city center. So it's fall in Toulouse and it feels like California. So the same weather, about 70 degrees today. A little cloudy and some smoke from some wildfire. Hey. It's the metro. Our visit to Toulouse was over, and we're on to our next city on our way to Marseille. First stop, Carcassonne. At the centerpiece of this city is an impressive fortress built almost 1,000 years ago, still standing today in really great shape, and still bustling with business, restaurants, and shops. Unlike museums in North America, this castle is still alive with a living city inside of it, probably just as active as it was at its heyday back in the 1100s. Carcassonne. Yep. This is the moat. We're gonna walk around and explore a little bit. Three hours in Carcassonne and we're back on the road to our next destination. Arles, founded by the Romans, feels more like an Italian city than a French city. Almost out of place. At the centerpiece of the city is the Colosseum, a smaller, more intact version of the Roman Colosseum, used by the same gladiators and shows. Last but not least, Arles was the place the famous Van Gogh painting, Café Terrace at Night, was painted. With 60 more miles left, we finish our drive to Marseille. The night was still early, so I decided to go and explore to look for a cool spot to look at in more detail the next day. Marseille's metro makes it really easy to get around. Apparently they have bird scooters here in Marseille. So we're going to explore the old town. We're going to keep walking up. We're past the church, walking uphill into this walled city. What do you think, Brooke? Good? We're gonna be eating like the French on the side of the street. Bon appetit. Driving Marseille, like any city, can be stressful at times, with heavy traffic, narrow streets, barely enough to fit a normal sedan, and speeding motorcyclists and scooters. However, renting a car is well worth it and you get a taste of the local French life. It's almost lunchtime and we finish our journey by foot. Walking past the old port in center of Marseille, past a few famous neighborhoods, on the way to the Human Civilization Museum by the coast. Before getting to the museum, you walk up a few steps up to a fortress and across a few spectacular modern walkways over water, and you enter the main entrance. The museum has two restaurants. The popular one is the buffet. Great food, fast, and not too fancy. On the other side is an a la carte restaurant for more formal dining. Prices range from 30 to 40 euros per person at the buffet. After a nice lunch, we started a drive to Cassis, a coastal town on the south of the Cote de Azur, with nice beaches, calanques, and great swimming and dinner locations. Only 10 miles away from Marseille. The scenery here is very different. Cassis is a very small town around a fishing village. Calanques, deep limestone canyons, carved to sea level deep into this land, is another common sight here in Cassis. In fact, we're in a national park dedicated to these natural features. These canyons are just big enough for boats to park here. Other calanques exist, but this one is particularly easily accessible from Cassis. With the warm Mediterranean being so inviting, one has to go in for a quick swim. After some hiking and exploring, it's time for dinner. Time to check out a local farmers market, and then off to a restaurant for proper seafood. We just came out of the water, went for a swim. Right now we're just going for a walk around the old port. Nice day today, it's about 60-something degrees. We're gonna go finish our walk around the rest of the port and see what else there is to offer. For dinner, we try out the local seafood, fish, shrimp, prawns, salad, and a nice soup. Another city on our to-do list is Aix-en-Provence. Aix-en-Provence is a high-end city. Lots of nice stores, good shopping, a thriving art scene, and home to lots of restaurants. Although I found the city clean, attractive, and fun to walk around in, I did not find it as memorable as other cities. Perhaps it was a little too high-end and too catered to tourists. The red carpet, where the celebrities come down. So this is the rest of the city. We're gonna go see it while there's some light left. That's where the Cannes Film Festival is. Except downtown. Tycoon, what kind of name is that? A tour of Cannes wouldn't be complete without seeing a yacht. Happy Halloween! How are you enjoying your lemon meringue?
Love it.
We can tell.
So good. Look at the meringue. It's so creamy.
Cannes is a really walkable city, with the main street just a block away from the waterfront, with parking easily accessible around the corner. We spend the rest of our evening in Cannes walking around to find a nice restaurant. We found a restaurant that serves great seafood before continuing our journey east to Nice. The next day, we explore Nice, go to the beach, and go up to the famous watchtower where you can see all of town. What are we going to be eating today?
Inside beach, orangina, des croissants.
Beaches in the Mediterranean, unlike those by the ocean, are usually more rocky and sound different than the sandy beaches around the world's oceans. That evening, we drove 30 minutes to Monaco, the last city on our trip's itinerary. The road to Monaco is easy to drive. consisting of a highway, then a series of tunnels that bore through the mountains, and you enter on the other side into the Monaco coast, very high up over the ocean. This is a good alternative to taking the coast road. It's so quiet here at night in Monaco. It's almost like we're not supposed to be here, it's so quiet. The day we went, it was really rainy, almost impossible to walk around the city. However, we were able to take the car and drive around to see the main sites, including the Monte Carlo Hotel, the fairgrounds by the port, as well as a sampling of residential neighborhoods.
Oh, there are people actually on it. Oh, it smells like funnel cakes or something.
And there it is, the Monte Carlo. After spending half an hour driving around town, we parked the car and walked to the Monte Carlo to tour the inside. Rain was falling hard, but rain comes and goes in this part of France and Monaco. Oftentimes, if you wait 15 minutes for a downpour to pass, you'll get some clear skies to follow. Excited to get up close to the Monte Carlo. A few more steps, and we're inside. With security everywhere and photography discouraged, I was only able to get a few shots of the inside. To be honest, it's not any different than a Vegas casino. That's it. We wish we had more cities to show, more time to explore, and more miles to drive. Thanks for joining us across the south of France, riding along from Toulouse to Monaco. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys on our next trip.